Hi, I'm Kerry with Best of Us in Retirement. Been retired since 2005, retired financial advisor, active real estate agent. I'm developing a community down the road from us. And I got an interesting phone call today from a 23-year-old that I think could benefit you. And I want to share it with you because he asked me some questions and wanted me to give him some advice. And it's the same advice I'd give a 73-year-old if he had asked me. His situation, first of all, he's just come to work for the brokerage that I work for. I work for Keller Williams out of Vestavia, and he's wanting to get involved in real estate. And he asked me, he said, Jennifer, our broker there, said that I had tried to, or I had promoted my business in real estate using video. And he said, I'm wanting to use YouTube, and I'm wanting to use it to help me sell homes. And then I'm also wanting to, build a following and maybe build a real estate agent type business on YouTube. And I said, well, and could we get together and talk? And I said, well, before we do that, what is it you really want to do? And he said, well, I'd like to build a YouTube business. I see what you've done. I've watched some of your videos, and I'd like your advice on how to build a YouTube business. And I said, well, let me ask you some questions. You're 23 years old. What have you done in the past? He said, well, I just got out of the Marines. I said, what did you do in the Marines? He said, well, I was a jiu-jitsu instructor in the Marines. I said, really? So you're pretty good at it? He said, yeah, I am. I said, are you good looking? He said, well, yeah, I am a good-looking guy. I said, okay, that's good. You're not modest either, are you? And he said, no, I guess I'm not. But someone recently asked me if I'd ever thought about going into the movies. I said, okay, that's good to know. I said, well, let's talk first about your choice of what you want to do. I said, you're pursuing the real estate industry. And I want you to know that it's an 80-20 industry. And that is that 20% of the people make all the money in the business. And it's also an industry where 80% of the people who enter the business leave the business within 18 months. It's a difficult business to get going unless you have an existing framework of a network of people who are in the market for buying homes, either through a church or through some education institution or something. You got to have that. I said, what I'd like to explore with you, though, is creating a YouTube channel. He said, for real estate? I said, no. I tried that. I said, it doesn't work. I said, there's some people who have made it work. Tom Ferry certainly has, but he makes most of his money. I get more views than he does, but he makes the most of his money coaching people. And he's got a large business built around that. He doesn't make his living off of YouTube. I said, few people do. Because again, remember, it's an industry that has an 80% failure rate. So the 20% who are succeeding, making all the money, aren't really looking for any advice or any training on how to do it. Let's talk about your jiu-jitsu. He said, really? I said, yeah. Yeah, I think that's where your future lies, if you want to go into YouTube. So what I said to him was, go to YouTube and open up the channel, and then in the search bar, write in jiu-jitsu. I had to learn how to spell it. J-U-I, capital J-I-T-S-U. And go there and see if anybody has an audience. And what you're looking for is, it says right next to the video when it was made, how long ago, and then it tells you how many views they've had in that period of time. And you want to find, and why I'm going to jiu-jitsu is it's an evergreen video. If I decide today that I want to learn about jiu-jitsu, and I want to go to YouTube to do it. I said, it doesn't matter if that video was made yesterday or 2 years ago. So look and see if you see some people who are making jujitsu videos and getting some high views. So I went and did it myself, and I came against a guy who has 771,000 subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers. It's almost 1 million. He made, in the last 30 days, he made 15 videos, and he got 737,000 views. Well, if you multiply that 737,000 views at what I suspect Google paid him per view, which is about 1.5 cents, he made $11,055 last month. Okay? That's not bad. Now, he also probably has some other things he's selling on that site, or advertisers who want to use him as a advertising source. So I would guess that's probably about 60% of his overall income. Then I found another guy who didn't put out any. He had 232,000 subscribers and didn't put out any videos last month, but he had 28,000 views off of it, which means he made somewhere around $4,000 last month off of that. I then write adjacent to it was a guy, The Art of Manliness. The Art of Manliness. That's the title of his videos, and he has 1.23 million subscribers. In 30 days, he made 3 videos. He had 616,000 views, which I would estimate he made about $9,000 off of. Why am I sharing this with you? Because you've got a skill. It may or may not be jujitsu. You've got something that you know how to do that maybe you can go see this, The Art of Manliness, or The Art of Femaleness, I don't know, and see what this guy is doing, and see he made 3 videos last month and made somewhere in the neighborhood of $9,000 for the month. This is just, I think it is a gold mine for retired people. I just listened to a video about in the retired section where this gentleman was giving advice to someone who wrote in and said, "I'm 70 years old, and we had, between my husband and I, we have no retirement savings. We still own money on our house. We still own money on a car. I make, between us, we have $2,000 in Social Security." And she said, and I make $2,000 a month cleaning homes. What should we do? It was Dave Ramsey. And Dave Ramsey basically said, oh, and then they had a Roadster that was worth about $10,000. He said basically, sell that Roadster, pay off your car, and then consider selling your $250,000 house and buying a $100,000 condo, and you can make it. That was his advice, and I thought, boy, that's brutal. But never did they mention, never did they ask, what did your husband do for a living? What skills do you have, or he has, that you could turn into a business? What knowledge do you possess that the rest of the world would like, or a part of the rest of the world would like, that you could share with the world? No, it was all sell what you. And then he said, and then they said, he says, well, what do you do for enjoyment? And they said, we like to go out to eat. And his retard to him was, you should never be seen again in a restaurant until you get your house paid and your car paid off, unless you're working in that restaurant. That's pretty brutal. But that's how Dave is, and Dave does a fantastic job on what he does. But please, Look at your assets. And assets are not always in the form of real estate or stocks or bonds or investments. You have knowledge. That's an asset. You have skills. Those are assets. Put them to work and figure out how not to cut your expenses if you need to, but improve your income. Increase your income by putting the assets that you own. And again, I have shared with you, if you got a good credit rating, that's an asset. You can share that asset with somebody who's young and has the ability to go out and rehab homes or something like that. But don't always throw in the towel. Don't always look at, I'm 70 years old and I'm retired and I'm done. I don't stand. No. You have an education. If you're 65 years old, you have a 65-year education. That's a master's degree in life. So put it to work for you. That's what I've done. I was a CFP, a CHFC, and a CLU, and I got out of that business. I didn't want to do that business anymore. But that business and my outlook on retirement is creating a new world for me, a new opportunity. And every day, something raises its head and says, maybe this will help. Just like Jake called me and said, teach me how to build a YouTube channel. Is there a business there? Hell yes, there is. Just open your eyes. I had, and maybe that's what it is. I had eyelid surgery just about a year ago. Now I got to go and get the cataracts off. It's getting a little foggy in here. So please, don't give up. Find a new way. Enrich your life and become aware of what this digital economy has opened up to you. And take your 65-year education and turn it into an asset that generates income and pleasure and enjoyment and maybe travel. Heck, I saw a young couple who does videos, and they just travel. And I'll bet you that some of you have a big RV sitting in your driveway. Well, go get a Canon camera like I've got and start traveling and learn how to upload that on YouTube and build a travel channel for seniors. How you maneuver through your day. There's stuff I wouldn't know how to do that. Share it. And then set up your LLC, and every gallon of gas you buy is an expense to offset your income so you don't pay taxes. And then you put your channel, your videos up as you travel through, and I know there's a bunch of you who follow NASCAR or follow Indy racing or follow baseball. I read about a couple who set out to go to every Major League Baseball park in the United States. Well, take a camera, do videos, and build a business around it. Come on. No, let's don't throw in the towel. Let's don't call it quits. Let's just say we're starting the second half, and we've learned from the first half. Somebody asked me the question, why is Nick safe? What he got a raise to, I think it was $8.5 million a year, and he got a 6-year contract, and he gets a raise. Why is he so successful? Because he learns, he studies. He basically says, our first half is to learn what we're going to do in the second half to beat you. That's what you need to do. This is your second half. So let's go beat them. Talk to you again soon.